So, playoff Jimmy Butler is a real human being. I mean, past 4 seasons, it's just been insane, obviously. But this postseason in particular, everything up to the finals has been pretty insane. I mean, I would say most people would consider him a top 3 postseason player this season. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Jokic has been better and Devin Booker's been better. I would probably agree with the Jokic one just because Jokic is just going on such a historical run that it's not even fair to consider him. And obviously, they're going head to head together in the finals. Right now when I'm recording this, it's Sunday right before Game 2. So, we'll see. Obviously, Game 1, I wouldn't put too much faith in Game 1 to show out the rest of the series. I think it'll be a close series overall. And then most people would say, oh, Devin Booker's been great, but I could say a lot of things about Devin Booker, but he doesn't show up for Game 7s, so I'm not going to say he's a great postseason player. Pretty much. That's pretty much it. So, Jimmy has. So I would say him and Jokic are the 2 best postseason players, which is kind of ironic and not surprising. They're facing off in the finals. Jimmy in the regular season averaged 22.9 points a game. In the postseason, he's averaging 27.6. And versus Milwaukee, obviously at the 56-point game, which I watched, that was insane. He was at 40 with 5 minutes left. He scored 16 in the last 5 minutes of playing time and overtime, which is just insane. Yep, his rebounding's up. Assists are up, blocks are up, steals are up. Besides the shooting splits, everything's up, pretty much. He's just really, really good, insane player. And it's just really weird because even I counted on Miami this season. I was like, they are... I didn't believe in them. They were the 8th seed. They didn't even win the first play-in game. They had to beat the Bulls to even get into the playoffs, which is just... they lost to the Hawks in the first play-in game. Nobody's expected Miami to go to the finals. Nobody would bet on it. It's very surprising. That being said, the Heat have gone to the finals 2 out of the last 4 years. And have been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 out of the last 4 years. Which is insane. That being said, are we really surprised? I was surprised this season, but, should I have been? Honestly, next season, I'm going to just sit down and say the Miami Heat aren't contenders, even though they're going to make it to, at least the second round, and I'm going to be like, we were all wrong. Maybe last season wasn't a fluke, whether they win the title or not. People are going to say it was a fluke. People said 2020 was a fluke. But I think at some point it's just not a fluke, and I think Miami has a real chance at winning the finals. I don't really know if they will, but they got a real chance at it. I'll kind of go over my thoughts about the finals a little bit for about a minute. If Jokic wins a ring and a finals MVP, with the 2 MVPs he has, he should have won a MVP this year, in my opinion. I think he more than anything deserved it over Joel Embiid. Just, I guess voter fatigue. I don't know what to tell you, but I really do think that he should have won it. Yeah, Jokic, Jamal Murray, MPJ, Nuggets, great team. obviously the first time the Nuggets have ever gone to the finals. I mean, I didn't think they were going to do it. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I had my doubts. I mean, I thought once it got to the Lakers and Nuggets, I figured the Nuggets were going to win. It was just kind of surreal seeing the Nuggets go to the finals. Pretty weird overall, but... And I know people are saying Boston versus LA would have been a better series. But those aren't the better teams. So... I think people are saying Heat Nuggets is going to be a very one-sided series, but I don't think it will. I think it will go on. I think it'll be a very good series. If one thing I had to say would be Butler's going to have to step up. I heard Tyler Hero has a chance of coming back, so if he does come back, that's very big for the Heat, and that could really affect their chances at winning the finals, just depending on how he plays. I mean, I don't really expect him, but if he can come off the bench, give you 15 points on decent shooting splits, I mean, yeah, that would really help the Miami Heat right now. Besides that, I mean, Butler, for the postseason, it feels like his whole career has been just insane at the postseason. Obviously, that's a thing you want in your players. The killer mentality thing, and like you can say like that's not a real thing. I mean, I think people have built it up and people have tried to break it down, and there's just like not a lot of players that have it. So like when people talk about it, people are like, oh, it's so rare it doesn't even like matter. And I mean, I get that. I mean, there's a lot of players out there, like in the last couple of years, that have won championships, and people say, well, they don't have the killer mentality, or these players didn't have the killer mentality, so so they didn't win or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But pretty much, people that didn't have the killer mentality can still win championships. Well, let's look at like the past couple seasons. I mean, this year you have Joker and Butler. Yeah, either one who wins is going to have kind of a killer mentality. Last year, the Warriors, I mean, Curry kind of went off in the finals. I wouldn't necessarily consider Curry having a killer mentality, but I certainly wouldn't consider him not having it. I mean, Bucks, Giannis, I mean, especially that finals run, it was a killer mentality. Lakers, LeBron, people say LeBron doesn't. He does. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you can't be a top 3 player of all time and not have a killer mentality. Especially Miami Heat. I can't say for like his early days or right now, but like at one point in his career, yeah, he had a killer mentality. It was pretty obvious to see. Who won before that? Toronto, Kawhi. Killer mentality. I mean, pretty obvious to see. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know why I went on a spiel about killer mentality. But yeah, in my opinion, killer mentality, like, definitely, like, how much you won a championship. And, like, I think in the playoff run, you can kind of see who has the best chances because of how much a team or a player in particular, in this case Jimmy Butler, wants the championship. But at some points you get a Joker and a Jimmy Butler, and it's like you're going to have a really good finals because they both want it really bad. So yeah, that's kind of my take on the finals. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series either way. People saying the Nuggets are going to sweep them. Highly doubt that. I doubt Butler's going to lose. I doubt Butler's going to lose 4 games in a row. I just don't see that happening. Like, well, they lost 3 games to the Celtics in a row, which I get, but like that was still 3 games. It's really hard to do 4. I mean, you watched Game 7 of Boston versus Miami. It was pretty funny. Let's just say that. I mean, it was a blowout. I mean, I watched the last 3 quarters. I didn't watch the first quarter. I watched the second, third, and fourth. It felt like a blowout the entire time. Like it didn't get into the 30s, but like high 20s, like it's a blowout. It's like not even close. So I guess that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, I'm kind of indifferent. Neither of these teams I'm kind of rooting for. I guess I would like to see both teams win. I would like to see either team win. It doesn't really matter for me, but I think it'll be a really good finals. So yeah, I think it'll be a good finals.